Live from the Sycamore Lounge, it's time to muster the gusto with James and Sean.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome to Muster the Gusto. Sean, how are you?
I'm great.
Awesome. Today's topic is rage, so I thought before our guest here, we might talk a little bit about rage. I wanted to ask you how you deal with rage, because it's different for everyone. I know when I try, it's a different process, and it can be difficult to deal with rage. Our guest will be right up. So I think I'm
a very angry person, so this segment should be pretty good.
You are?
I've noticed.
I know you've never seen that side of me.
Never.
Ever, right?
Ever.
I hide it very well.
No.
I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve at all.
Well, I remember with Rory, I told you that a couple weeks ago, right? One of the first things I remember.
Oh, yeah.
With
So this is a really good topic for me, I'd say.
Well, I was genuinely kind of terrified of you for the first, I would say weeks, maybe months.
Yeah.
But no.
A couple people were. Most people were, I'd say.
No. It's, but I feel like once you get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
You got to crack that shell.
I feel like you need,
The rage
people
shell.
really need to endear themselves to you. Like, you really need to warm up to them.
Yes.
Which, ain't nothing wrong with that, you
Yeah.
know? You gotta, that's smart. You're on guard. Are we filming? This is good, yeah. You're, you don't, you gotta make sure they're okay. 'Cause a lot of people aren't okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not okay. But,
You promise?
And that's, yes. That is the only
My
thing I can
Chemical
promise
Romance.
in my life, that I am not okay. I promise to not even quote my chem. But they speak to me. They did. I
Did you
listened
just
to
say
a lot of
my
my
chem?
Yeah. Oh my
That's
god,
what
yeah.
that's what the fans call. Our cousin Melanie
yeah.
used to call him
My chem.
Mike
That
Chem.
is so funny.
Yeah, and I made fun of her mercilessly for liking them until
I
I
had the
started
hoodie.
getting
She was
into
in
them
love
recently.
with, was it
Gerard
Gerard?
Way?
Yeah, she was
Gerard.
in love
Oh, yeah.
with Gerard.
Love. Woo! Sorry. Bug.
Oh, I thought you were just getting worked up about Gerard.
No, I just loved him so much.
I loved him.
He's a likable guy, I
I
think,
liked him a
right?
lot.
Yeah.
And now he's doing fucking the Netflix show.
Yeah.
Which is
Very
great.
talented, yeah. He's doing multiple things.
So,
He's just started with
Multiple
that.
meetings.
first I'd like to say welcome, Jess. Very, very nice to have you here. I am
Thanks.
thrilled
No,
you're
no,
here.
I'm
Good to
waving
have
to
you.
the camera. Thank
Very
you.
good fan, friend of the show.
Uh,
Fan and friend.
First
Fan
things
and
first,
Friend fan.
tell us about your dogs.
Oh, yay, I love them. Well, they're Chihuahuas. They're two little fat nuggets. I love them with all my heart and soul. They're pretty great. And it's funny that I ended up owning Chihuahuas because I am a Chihuahua, I'd say. Speaking of like rage and being angry all the time and whatever else, I have noticed that I am just a human that should have just been born as a Chihuahua because they're so nasty. But you have to get to know them first, and once you know them, they love you with all of their heart and soul, and they'll do anything for you, and that's literally me as a person. I love them.
Oh, I can agree 100%.
Yeah.
That she's a Chihuahua or that you're a Chihuahua?
That she's a Chihuahua. I'm not a Chihuahua.
Me. And I'm cold all the time. Chihuahua.
They're little,
if
right?
I'm a
There's
dog,
not-
I'm a
Yeah,
husky.
they're little.
You're a husky?
I'm a husky. I love the cold. I like to roam. Kind of dumb.
They're so smart, though.
You are pretty
They're
dumb.
like one of the most
Okay,
intelligent
then I'm
breeds.
not. Who's the dumb one? Who's like a big dumb one?
Like a golden retriever?
Lab.
Yeah, I'm
Great
probably
Danes.
that then.
Great Danes aren't. The labs are real stupid.
Real big
Yeah,
and dumb.
that's why they make terrible guard dogs. Somebody breaks into your house, labs just gonna lick them. Let me show you the jewelry.
Right this way.
Yeah, you might be a chocolate lab.
Chocolate.
Yeah,
Why chocolate?
because you have dark hair.
Oh.
Or a black lab, because of your dark hair.
Well, that was so specific. I was like, why specifically?
Well,
a
chocolate labs
lab?
are very, very specifically very goofy and like outrageous and like high energy and like crazy.
That doesn't
Yeah.
sound like you.
That does sound like.
Well,
Depends on the time of day.
That's true.
actually, I wanted to start off by a topic is rage, as we mentioned earlier. I want to start off by telling a story of rage involving me and Sean in our younger days. We actually teased it last week. I started to tell it, and then I realized, wait a minute, this is for the rage episode. Do you want to tell the story?
You know, you tell it better than I do.
I remember
because you
it.
remember it so vividly. I
Very-
don't really remember it as well as you remember.
No, you blacked out. That's
I blacked
what
out.
happened. So, I want to say maybe I was 15 or 16, which would make Sean 13 or 14. He's 2 years younger than I am. We shared a bedroom until we were 17, and I was lying in bed. I had just woken up. I noticed that the fitted sheet, had come off one of the corners of the bed. So I was sort of scooting the bed back a little so I can put the sheet back on. So I'm scooting, and it was a very unfortunate series of events. I had a CD tower. I know it sounds weird, right? Like, where are you going with this? But it's weird. It was like a Rube Goldberg machine. But so I scooted back. I had a CD tower. I still have it. It's a tall CD tower. Holds like 100 CDs or something like that. I knock into the CD tower. The CD tower falls and hits Sean's PlayStation that he's playing at the time.
Okay.
So, boom, 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 falls. PlayStation stops working. Sean jumps on top of me and just starts just going. Sean's not a violent person. I know looks can be deceiving, but he's really not. But it was just this intense rage, just like, it was like, you hurt my child, almost.
Yeah.
And I think our mom he was screaming too, as I recall, because I think Mom and then also Joey, our sister's ex-boyfriend, who was living at the house at the time, were both looking in our room like, what in the world is going on? And it's a moment I've never forgotten. Don't mess with his video game.
Don't mess with the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Sorry about that.
10 years later. Sorry. Over 10 years later.
Oh yeah, more than 10 years later.
There was a lot of tension when we shared a room. We were two teenage boys
Oh, yeah.
in a very tight space, and it was a difficult time, I feel like, for both of us, you know?
Yeah, it's hard.
It was a long time. I mean, it was like really long. Like, you know, when you're kids, it's great, we're sharing a room, but when we were teenagers, and I think I was 17 when we finally got our own rooms. But yeah, it's not easy. Tensions run high. I was always playing loud music. He was always with the video games, and it was like, oh shit.
What?
So it's hard to find harmony. So that leads me to the question here. What's the angriest you ever remember being?
Well, I get angry a lot. So there was definitely one time Sean was there at work, because it had to do with like people at work. So I'm not going to get into that one specifically, but that was
that the night
when we were breaking
that
down
when
beverage.
and when you were leaving, I was like, Jess, whatever you do tonight, just be careful.
Yeah, he was
'Cause I
messing
was
with me all
genuinely
like
worried.
yeah, he was messing with me all night, and then right before I left, he was very serious and was like, just be careful tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the angriest I've ever been, well, in like recently. But there was one time my sister and I, this one always sticks out in my head. So me and my sister, like you guys, were very close in age. We were like best friends. So we were going to the Princeton Museum, and it was before, I guess probably not before, but we didn't have like smartphones yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we were using printed out Google Maps.
Sure.
So we're trying to figure out how to get to Princeton, and she's driving, I'm looking at the map, and she was asking me, I was like, oh, you're just going to take the part, or whatever road we were on, like Route 1 for a while, and I'll tell you where to go. And she's like, just tell me where to go now. And I was like, it's this road that you're not going to know at all, and because I'm going to have to tell you again in 10 minutes, just leave it alone. And she's like, just tell me the road now. And I was like, oh my God, I'll tell you the goddamn road now if you want. So we ended up arguing the entire way down Princeton, and I called her a bitch. And then she yelled at me and continued. We were just bickering back and forth the entire time. So we get out of the car, and she slams the door and said something, like mumbled something under her breath, and I ran up to her, and it took everything in me. I was like shaking, and it took everything in me not to punch her in the face.
Ooh.
If we weren't in public, like if we were at home, I would have like ripped her hair out of her head. I was so pissed. And then she ended up going off, and I had never been there before, to the Princeton University. So you're on campus, and you have to walk to the museum, and I had no idea where I was going, and she shoots off ahead, like books it, and I tried to keep up with her, and then I ended up getting lost, because I was like, I don't know where I'm going. So she ended up finding the museum, and I'm still wandering around this goddamn university by myself. So I get into the museum, and I started screaming at her in this quiet-ass museum. Like, it was bad, like shaking. I was so mad. And I was like, fuck off! And I just like went off and did my own thing. And The museum's great. The museum is really great. Calmed me down a lot, but that was like if she came near me, I definitely would have hit her. That was the most angry, at least at my sister, that I can recall that I've been in a very, very long time, or like in that moment, I guess.
Do you find you, personality-wise, you and your sister are somewhat similar?
No, we're pretty different. Yeah, I'm the loud, obnoxious one. She can be. I bring that out in her, I'd say, but she's definitely way more introverted than I am, like significantly so. Like really, really keeps to herself. If you think I'm hard to get to know, she's even worse. But she's not like mean or angry, and I am. So. She's nicer, but very quiet.
This brings me to another question I had on down the line, because you mentioned you wanted to rip her hair out or whatever. Have you ever been in a physical fight, like a fist fight, or?
Other than my sister, no. But we never physically. We always like fought, like play fought. And then I remember one time I was on my back and she came at me. We were messing around and I kicked her in the throat by accident, completely by accident. And she went and started like coughing really bad. And she was like we were kids. And she couldn't breathe. So now she's freaking out, and I'm like, oh my God, I killed my sister. But there was this one time, years later, I was like at some house drinking or whatever, and I got into an argument with this guy, and I was taking a sip out of my red solo cup, and he took it and just flipped it. And it like went all over me, and I got up and I immediately started punching him in the face.
Wow.
So that was...
How did he react to that?
He was just sitting down. He was threatening to hit me back. He was like, I'm not afraid to hit a girl. And I'm like yelling like, just hit me! Because I was a drunk and like 19 years old. I was like, do it! So there's a bunch of dudes in the room. So all the dudes just went, all right. And they just stood up and they just like stood behind him. They were like, you're not going to hit her. And then my friend had to like walk me out of the room, and I started taking everything I could and was like throwing it at him. Yeah. Like, don't spill my drink on me. I lost it.
Of course
that was
not.
bad.
So his intention was to, it wasn't an accident. Or
No, not at all. I was drinking the cup, and like he had it. I was going like this, and he took it and just pushed it up. So it like everything poured on me.
Ugh.
And that set me off completely.
I think that's the
As
idea
it
though.
should,
When
yeah.
you're doing something like that, what do you expect? Oh, thank you. Like,
yeah,
you know,
no, he was asking for it. I hated that dude. He was a piece of poop.
Agreed.
Sounds like a real dickhead.
Yeah, I did not like him.
You can curse on the show. It's fine.
I don't know why I felt like I couldn't.
You already have cursed on the show.
Sometimes I'm not aware of it, so when I'm aware of it, I'm like,
Well, cursing's going to come later because I got a few few wonderful scenarios that are
ready.
Honestly, like I thought I'd do better with these, so forgive me guys later. I guess I was trying to think of things that make me angry, and a couple of them are concert based because
yeah,
it's really easy to get. I go to a lot of we're just gonna have to deal with that. I go to a lot of concerts, and it's easy to get angry and frustrated because people don't behave well anywhere.
Yeah.
But they really don't behave well at a concert, and there's an etiquette that I don't think anyone follows. I'm gonna hit that guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump over the fence, just knock him out.
Get him.
That's the angriest I've ever been.
Right there. But anyway, we'll get to that later. It's just, I don't know. I guess I go to a lot of like hard rock stuff too, and that's why last night I went to go see Divačka. I don't know if you know that band or not, but they're like a sort of sweeping and beautiful orchestral band. That was really nice because there's no one was like. I mean, the shows I go to, if you're in the right place, like getting kicked in the head is not out of the question. In fact,
I'm sure.
So things like that, tensions will run high.
Yeah, I get angry at shows. I don't go to shows often, but whenever I do, I don't like to be touched. So in situations like that, if they start pushing me and get out of my way, like one physical fight I almost never got to was actually at the Used concert.
Really? Where was that?
The one in Sayreville.
Starland,
yeah. It was like their 10-year anniversary for like their first album, so of course I went.
Of course.
And,
that's what was that album called again? Remind me. It has
The Used.
Is it self-titled?
Yeah, it was self-titled.
Oh,
it was like
right.
In Love and Death and the self-titled
right,
one. They
I
just
remember
did the tour
that. I
together.
almost went to because I liked that self-titled album a lot.
It's so good.
Yeah. It had like
it's actually okay.
Taste of Ink and Choke Me. Do you remember that song?
Yep.
Oh, that song is sick.
Love
Anyway.
that song. Very good.
Sorry, got distracted.
Yeah.
That was a good band. Right on, The Used.
Yeah, I was obsessed with them.
Sean, The Used? Anything?
No?
Okay.
They
Jess.
were more your thing. I didn't care for them.
Well, they're definitely a band you get into when you're a teenager. I think
yeah.
a lot of bands are grandfathered in. You like them now because you liked them then. But if I first heard Used when I was 32, I'd probably be like,
there's no way. If I listened to them now, I'd be like, this is garbage.
Is it like one of those like Coheed type situations?
Not really. I think
No.
they're a different beast. They're more like, do you know, like Thursday? I feel like they're kind of in the same.
I would categorize them more with Thursday than I would with Coheed.
Yeah, they're like a, I don't know, emo, screamo.
You would
whatever.
anybody that likes,
that whole scene was something that really eluded me. I didn't really get.
Well,
too
I was
much
always
into it.
sad about girls.
Yeah,
so
that was
really
actually
spoke
one
to
of
me.
the things that made me angry was that you were always playing that kind of music, and I fucking hated it. I would get so mad. I'd be playing video games, and James would be having on
You're
this
listening
fucking
to like Saves the Day and
emo-y
stuff.
fucking
and
music. Can you turn that shit down or wear some fucking headphones?
You know
that
what?
was a big part of it.
Fair. Anyway, what happened at the Used concert?
Well, I was really obvious. Every story I have, I'm gonna come off like such an alcoholic, which isn't not true. But
Oh, you're going specific moments that happen
yeah.
to involve alcohol. That's okay.
yeah, but I also need to put a disclaimer. Like, I'm not an angry drunk. Like, you've been around me when I'm drunk. I'm not like an angry drunk. But if I get really angry, it's usually when I'm drunk. So I was
Enhances your mood.
Yeah, oh yeah. So I was at the show and we're like off to the side. So we're off to the side up to the front, like right by the gate, the stage. So everybody that was crowd surfing or whatever, they kept coming down right here, you know, like literally right in front of us. They would walk away, and that's where the bathrooms were. The bar was literally right behind me.
Hate crowd surfers.
Awful. Like,
I hate
go
them.
away.
Yeah.
The worst.
It's so, I hate it. So
It's obnoxious.
it is obnoxious.
Well, it's like my big thing with concerts is like, or just anywhere, right? Don't let your good time affect anyone else's good time. So if your good time involves maybe kicking me in the head, reevaluate your idea of what a good time is.
Yeah,
I know you're having fun up there, but it's
Yeah.
like, anyway, sorry, didn't mean.
No, that's
I
okay.
digress. Forgive me.
I think like I had a bunch of drinks and I'm drinking a lot, whatever. So right at the end of the concert, this one girl kept trying to get like in front of me and my sister and the other two people that we were with. And I don't like that. So like people would the crowd surf and then they would stand literally right in front of me. And I'm short, I'm like 5'1", 5'2". So I can't see anything. So this girl like stopped dead and like got up, stood right in front of me, and I was like my nose was right on her back. And I'm like, get the fuck away. So I pushed her out of the way. Like I shoved her really hard. And then she turned around and was like, are you kidding me? So she shoves me back, and then I immediately threw my drink at her and then like grabbed her. And then, so my sister grabbed me off of her, and then the girl, like somebody grabbed her and then pulled her away, and I was like still trying to go at her. Because like that was the straw. It was like so many people were pushing me out of the way, trying to stand literally directly in front of me, and I was just getting so angry. And then that bitch was just the end of it. She was just the straw in that shit show cupcake. I was like, straw in the cupcake?
I think we did a double metaphor there, but I loved it.
Shit show cupcake.
See, this is why we're gonna have the curse off later, because I've never heard more creative profanities in my life. And I'm really excited, and I know later on it's gonna be sort of an on-the-spot situation, but wow.
Yeah, so that was intense. I blame the Used.
Yeah.
I blame Burt McCracken for spitting on me.
What kind of last name is McCracken?
I don't know.
He spit on you?
Well, I was so close. He does that thing where he goes and like spits the water out.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes.
I'm gonna rock some Used later.
You should.
This leads me to a question, because I know my answer is, how do you deal with anger? Like when you're very upset, what do you like to do? How do you purge? My thing is music. So a band like The Used, or I really like metal. I like all sorts of music,
Yeah,
but I
you
like
do.
metal a lot. And I don't know if you ever heard The Used, there's a band called Refused, a Swedish band, that are just the most angry. I mean, there's plenty of angry bands, but it's just like, hearing that is like a catharsis for me.
Yeah.
So I wonder what's a catharsis for you?
I don't know. I've never been good at like dealing with my anger. It's never, like I said, it's never gotten to a point like I've never like really physically fought somebody, although everything I've said kind of disputes that. I'm trying to think of a time. I just let it ride. Like if I'm home and I get really angry, I usually just like, dogs help, so I'll usually pick up, like I cannot be angry like around my dog. Even if he does something stupid and I want to punch him in the face, I just pick him up and I like hold him. That's always something I've done. Like I've been angry driving home, and then I get home and I just shut myself in my room and then just like grab my dog and just like pick him up, or even just like looking at his face.
Aw.
I just grab him and like squeeze his little face, and that always calms me down. Sometimes I squeeze him too hard and he yelps. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. But
Aw.
if I'm like out and about and I get really, really upset, I have to be by myself. I know that's a thing.
Yeah.
If I have the opportunity, I'll try to put on music, but I feel like I never have that opportunity. It's always
Yeah.
like I'm always angry in a place where I can't just like start blaring music. Like if it happens at work, I have to go to the bathroom, or I have to just step away and just be alone and just take deep breaths.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty
you
much-
do have good ways of dealing with anger.
Yeah,
Don't sell yourself short.
yeah.
Sean, what about you? And don't hands to yourself when we talk about this. How do you deal with rage?
I usually just punch you in the face. That seems to help me.
It happens a lot. I've needed massive reconstructive surgery.
I mean, I don't often get that angry, but if I do, I'll likely do what Jess has said. You know, you just step away. I go somewhere by myself, try to like physically cool down, because a lot of times when I'm angry, I'm actually very hot. So just sit in front of
Yeah.
a fan, you know, kind of take a couple of breaths. Usually seems to work for me.
Temperature can really affect. Well, did
Me
anyone
very
ever
much.
see?
You ever see when it's humid?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I get very angry.
Yeah. I don't do well
You've
in the
seen it.
humidity
Yeah.
either.
You get real annoyed real
It-
quick.
I get so mad.
Yeah.
Did anyone here ever see Do the Right Thing? Spike Lee's
Oh, of course.
classic 1989 feature.
I have not.
It's a lot of it's about tension, and actually right where Sean used to live in Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
So it's about tensions really, really running high in this neighborhood, basically exacerbated by the heat. So it's the hottest day of summer, and everyone's just losing their minds.
Oh,
I know
wow.
you enjoy heat.
I do very much.
Sean and I are not. I don't do well in like real high heat. I don't do well at all.
Oh, I love it.
I've fainted a couple times.
Oh God, really?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I had a trip to Ellis Island. I remember I was in like fifth grade or
also,
something.
wasn't there was a time we were at a theme park? Yeah, and you had fainted there.
Yeah,
So-
our grandfather
Oh, wow.
took me, not you. Sean doesn't like theme parks. I love roller coasters.
Same,
but-
love them.
Yeah, oh, they're my favorite. See,
Yeah.
me and Brad and Pete, we're all gonna go to Fright Fest. That's my problem.
I want to go to Fright
I-
Fest so bad.
I can't find anyone who goes on roller coasters.
Me!
Sean, so all right, let's do it.
I'm down.
I
love
really,
it.
I haven't been in so long.
I
and
haven't been
love-
I was literally just talking about this with my friends yesterday. I haven't been to a theme park as an adult.
Oh, it's yeah. We
The
gotta
last
go.
time I went, I probably went to like Seaside when I was like 19.
You gotta go on a weekday.
Oh, yeah, I've
So
only
on a
ever gone.
weekday and when school is in session.
Yeah.
Because then the place is yours. And
Well, you can also bring the Coke can, right? Do they still do that?
I think they do.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think.
It's still a thing?
I don't know.
It seems
I
like
think
that was
so.
from so long ago.
Last year I actually had a season pass and I only
Really?
went once.
That's
I don't think it was because the season pass, if you get it at the right time, it's very, very affordable. It's like as much as it costs for one day there.
Yeah.
So I don't think I
They
lost
used to
money
be
on
like
it.
60, 70 bucks. Or maybe like 100 or something.
If you find the right, they'll and I'm on their mailing list. They'll have like, oh, flash sale. It's $40 for this one day or something like that. And they always extend it too. Like, just
Yeah.
kidding, 3 days. But yeah, well, it's too late to buy a season pass now. But no, let's organize a trip to Fright Fest. 'cause,
Yeah, we should.
I mean, I'll go to Fright Fest because I've said I'll go
Well,
for the
if
Fright
we go-
Fest, but I
You can
just
be
won't
the
go on the roller
And it's
coaster.
not
you can
gonna
be the
be-
bag holder. Sometimes you need a
Yeah.
person that doesn't go
I'll
on
hold the
roller
bags.
coasters.
I
I
don't
think you'd
mind.
have a good because there's fun stuff to do that's not rides.
Yeah,
you know?
I
And then-
I love horror. So.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
so
awesome.
much.
You'll have a good time. And then a big thing that it can be a bummer is like for us is like the heat there. But if it's in October,
That's
it'll
perfect.
be fine. Yeah, I think we should all go to Six Flags. This
We
is going to
should.
be great.
It's gonna be a good time.
I'm gonna say us three and Brad. Little Pete said he was gonna go, but he's not that reliable. So let's just say us and Brad. Actually, you should see the latest episode. You want to talk about rage? Pete was a half hour late, and Sean got not joke mad. Sean got so mad that I was like worried about Pete when he finally did show up.
He's so little.
I put him against the fence. I feel a little better.
That's good. Get it out.
Yeah.
Gotta get the
It's
rage
okay.
I don't want to talk about it.
out.
I have a specific answer for this. I wonder if you guys too. Well, first off, I wanted to say in our line of work, and that's the one rule here is we don't mention specifically where we work. Everyone
Yeah.
knows where we work, but we just don't mention that name. It's hard not to be angry working at a job like that. I
Oh
find.
yeah. hmm
Because people,
I mean, it's retail.
yeah,
Customer service.
and people just don't know how to treat you. They just don't get it. And I find, I don't know if you guys feel this way, but in general, it's like they don't understand that you're like an actual person. Like
Yes.
I'm a
Oh,
living,
100%.
breathing human person,
Yeah.
you know, but they don't talk to you like you are one.
They think
you
that
know?
like the store that you work at, like plants you in the backyard, like in the
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
And then they make you, and then they're like, okay, now go to work. You're not a real person, and that's that's how we get viewed.
I actually have the perfect, quick antidote for that.
Antidote?
Antidote.
Antidote.
No one was bitten by a snake.
Antidote. I have anecdote.
Anecdote.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
You okay? Do you need like a pillow?
No. I was just because I feel like if I lean forward, then you have to lean forward more to look at James. So
No.
Oh,
I don't
last
actually-
week was really difficult because we had
Yeah,
two
we had-
guests, so I couldn't even.
was
I'm like,
tough. We were
Sean,
kind of-
are you there?
Sean?
Hello. It was sad. I missed him.
We
I was
should
like,
start-
where are you?
You know what? For episodes like that, let's have some walkie-talkies. Just have walkie-talkies.
That's a good
Hey,
idea.
James, how you doing over there? Over.
You talking walkie-talkies? I'm thinking about Stranger Things. 6 days.
Whoa.
6 days.
Oh my God,
Season
it's 6
3.
days.
But real quick, I want to tell a story about the perfect example of how people don't see us as human beings. It was Spring and I were back in demo, and a customer came up and saw Spring's name. Was like, "Oh, huh, that's a cool name. Is that your store given name?" He thought the store named her.
No.
Like, bro, are you serious?
Is that
Like,
how
for
do you
real?
have that thought in your head? I don't understand how.
I don't.
Does
Yeah.
the company you work for give you a name? Like, even if they work like a 9-to-5 job, like Wall Street, one of those bullshit jobs with a salary, do they give you a name? Do you get a name? No.
That's
Oh my
really
God.
odd.
Isn't that-
I
like-
would have been so mad.
Such a good example of like how they do not even see us as people,
Somebody
as individuals.
somebody referred to me as the help.
Oh.
Yeah,
The
because I was
hell.
eating something, because I'm always eating something, and I was at work doing the thing or whatever, and then she asked if it was good, and I was like, yeah, I buy it all the time, and she was like, oh, well, if the help's eating it, it must be great.
Oh.
And I went, what? And I handed her, I literally went, what? And I handed her the change or whatever, and then was like, signed off and just booked it. I was like, I gotta go.
Have you ever
I
like?
laughed it off though.
Have you ever like had an altercation with a customer, like where it came to words?
Not at where we work now, but at my old job,
Mm.
which was, I don't know if can I say where I used to work? Does it matter?
Where you're not affiliated with the company anymore?
Not affiliated with the company
good.
at all.
Yeah,
I
that's
worked
fine.
for Walgreens for like 3 years. I was 4 years. I don't know. I was like a key holder manager there, and at the time I was super young. I was like 19 and 20. So when it was funny because when somebody asked for the manager, I worked at night a lot. So when somebody asked for the manager on duty, it was me, and it's like this 5'2" little girl coming out, and they're like, "Where's the manager?" I'm like,
Did you
"You're
really
looking
swing
at
your
her."
arms like that?
Yep.
You always swing your arms.
I don't know. That didn't help, probably.
No, probably not. I got no respect. No respect. But oh yeah, I've had several altercations with people. This one guy spit on me.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I told him to get the fuck out of the store, and I called the cops. And this other woman, because I also ran like the photo department area too, and so we have to take passport pictures when you work for CVS, Walgreens, and we have like a booklet of the requirements of the passport. No smiling, and it has to be like from like your neck up, and in this little box, and blah blah blah, white background. So this woman is telling me she's smiling, and I'm like, no, you can't smile. And she's like, yes, I can. And I'm like, no, you can't. She's like, yes, you can. I'm like, no, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
And so she whips out her ID, her license, and she's smiling in her license. And so I'm like, all right, you're going to do this. So I whip out my ID, and I'm like, look, I'm smiling in mine too, because this is a picture that I took like years ago before those requirements were a thing. If you go get your license now, you can't smile. The requirements are you literally have to have a mutual facial expression. It says that when you go to the DMV. It says that in the passport fucking handbook. So I'm like telling this lady, like, you can't smile, and she's arguing with me, and then she tells me to go get a manager who really knows how to do their job because I don't know what I'm doing. And I was like, I'm the manager! Fuck you! I was so mad.
I really hope it went exactly like that. Where you go, I'm the manager!
Fuck you! You're twirling your mustache.
wish.
I'm the manager.
Oh, one time though, I also worked at the Barnes & Noble Cafe briefly, and I did tell a customer to go fuck herself. Yeah, I straight up
wow.
said, fuck you, and I walked
what
out.
led?
It was sick.
What led to that?
Legend.
Oh, that cafe was run terribly. There was no manager, and we were really, really, like, ridiculously understaffed, and the people that worked there didn't know what they were doing. Like, I didn't know how to fucking make a cappuccino. I was just winging it. And people complained all the time, and I was like, I don't know, I'm sorry. So it was like towards the end of the night, it was really slow, and this woman was at the bar, the thing where you get like the paper towels and the straws, whatever.
Sure.
And she's over there, and she's like, hey, excuse me, do you have any napkins? And I said, oh, there should be napkins right in there, because I had just filled them. So I was like, I know that there's napkins in there, and I'm trying to clean, like do my other thing. And she's like, there's no napkins in there. So I was like, there's napkins in there. So I walk over and she walks away and I picked up the napkins and I went, miss, they're right here. They're literally right here. And she goes, yeah, but now you got your grubby hands all over 'em."
Oh.
And I was like, fuck you. And I walked into the back, grabbed a whole brand new thing of napkins, and I threw them onto the counter, and I went, there's your fucking napkins. And I walked away. And she went, excuse me? Oh, blah, blah, blah. And she bugged out, rightfully so, because I was super wrong. Don't tell people to go fuck themselves. That was bad. So I'm in the back, like, rage washing dishes, like, breaking them as I'm doing it. And the poor girl, that was like other girl that I was working with, that was like her first week, and she was working with me. So she doesn't know what to do. So she's freaking out, and she's like, oh my God, that poor girl. I probably traumatized her. I think she quit shortly after that. Oh, that poor girl. That's so bad. I'm a terrible person.
That poor girl, if you're watching.
So sorry. I don't remember your name, but you were sweet.
Oh.
But it was funny because the manager went on maternity leave, like, of the entire store. So the manager that we had was just covering the store. And he was like this. I actually worked for him later on when I worked for Doc Martens. So he was the store manager just covering for the couple months that she was gone. And he was like this chill ass dude, smoked so much weed, like had dreads and shit. He pulled me upstairs into the office and was like, just don't do that again, man. Like, I get it. It's chill. I got you, but like, just don't do it again. And I was like, sick.
That's about.
Didn't even get a write up.
That's about as well as that can go.
Yeah,
right?
that was great. I had no repercussions. I was just making lattes angrily all day.
You know, awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
I envy you. I wish I had the ability to.
Don't envy me.
Well,
nobody should envy.
I have. If I'm angry at you, you might not know it. No, that's not awesome, right? I sort of keep everything in here, and I have problems with anxiety.
Same.
But I just have like altercations make me very anxious. So if people are fighting around me, like I have this tightness in my chest that is just the worst, and I really don't. Sometimes something has come out of me and I didn't even think about it. It just comes out of my face.
Word vomit?
Rare, yes, exactly. Like from Mean Girls.
Yes.
It's just, that's rare. Usually I hold it in. And I wish I could be, I don't know, I wish I could like purge more. One of the ways I remember I used to work at a juice bar last year, and it was like, you were the only one back there. It was crazy. I was frustrated often. And one thing I would do is I would growl, and it wasn't, if I was mad, I wouldn't growl at anyone. But let's say, you get there's a lot, and I'm tired too. I would have to wake up early. Everything is like slippery in there. I would cut myself. The gloves were only medium. I have big hands, so it's just like, and I would get frustrated. Let's say remember I dropped a thing of pineapple juice and it was open, and it just dropped it on the table and it just exploded like a grenade. So there's pineapple juice in my hair and in my face.
Oh God.
And then I'm just like, but not at anyone. I don't growl at a person, but I would just, it was, I don't know, this is a way it helped a little, but I mean.
Yeah, verbal is I need to verbally get it out. Like, it needs to come out. Not necessarily physically, but I need to verbally express my anger in some type of way, whether it be like cursing or just like screaming or like I've growled. I go, oh my God.
Well, I remember one of the first incidents I had with you. Incidents, that's not the right way to say it. One of the first moments I remember.
Incidents.
Like that.
I'm an incident.
We were in a customer service environment, and we ran out of coffee. I didn't really know you well at the time.
Yeah, it was like my first month or so there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you were still very new, and I'm gonna try to get it right exactly what happened.
It's funny because I don't remember this happening at all. Like, not even a little bit.
So you walked over, and the coffee machine was like broken, but we were working on fixing it. We would have had coffee in the next 15 minutes or something. So you go to get the coffee, and you said something like, "Why isn't there any coffee?" And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, the coffee machine's broken." And I'm trying to get exactly right what happened, but you're like, I think it was like, "What the fuck?" And then just turned around and run away. And this was on the sales floor, right next to management. I was like, "Oh, she's and angry."
Yeah, I actually can't believe that the manager didn't say anything to me.
I remember what the manager said. He was like, "I'm gonna let that one go." And you know what? That manager was kind of a stickler too, but I think he was just like,
yeah.
Because I don't think a customer heard you or anything like that, but it was just like this explosion of, and I know when you want coffee and you can't get it, that can be, I don't mean you, I mean you, everyone.
Yeah.
It can be, that's difficult. So I
Yeah.
get it, but I wish I had more of that in me. I look up to you in a way.
Eh.
No, I shouldn't. All right.
I
what
mean, I
else?
feel like there are right ways to handle your anger and there are wrong ways to handle your anger.
Yeah,
and
but-
like blowing up like that over coffee, like there was probably something else going. And again, I don't remember that at all.
I remember
little
telling
things
you
like
the
that.
story and you going, "Why am I like this?"
Yeah, I don't remember that. But I blow up those little things that shouldn't necessarily matter. I bug out about, and it's such an absurd thing to do. And it's like, just calm the fuck down. Like me, calm the fuck down.
But you say you need to express it verbally somehow. So rather
Yeah.
than just keeping it inside of you, which is what I do,
Yeah.
I feel like I might explode one day, you know, and that's not a good thing. Like I'm a time bomb or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I was actually, this was going to be one of the questions later, or the curse-off questions. This is an actual thing that happened to me. I was at a concert, and there was a guy jumping up and down. He was like excited and drunk, but he's really close to my girlfriend at the time. And he elbowed her like in the face kind of, and it didn't hurt her, but he kind of knocked her glasses askew like that. And I was able to show some restraint, but I pushed him. I've never physically done anything to anyone like that before.
Yeah.
But I just feel like at some point I keep it so bottled up, someone's gonna make me so mad that I'm not gonna, like, you know. You ever in the Christmas Story? I don't even like that movie. Have you ever seen A Christmas Story?
Yeah.
Where the bully's bullying him, and then he just like
bugs out.
I feel like
Just loses
I
it.
don't know. That's a possibility because we all have anger, right? But
Yeah.
you have to find a healthy way of dealing with it, and I don't know that I do.
You should go to one of those places where you can just like destroy stuff.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
there's,
ask you
like,
about
rage
that.
room.
I was gonna
yeah,
ask you
that's what
Wanna
it's
go?
called. Yeah,
Let's
I
do
could
it.
not figure out what it was called the other
So-
day.
so
Like,
it's
how do I
just called the
Google
Rage
this?
So tell
It
us
is called
about the
Room.
rage room.
I've never done it, and it's my dream. I want to do it so
sounds-
bad.
Sounds awesome. You
It
were talking
sounds
about it the other day.
Yeah,
It sounds really cool.
You've done it?
No, it sounds like.
Oh, it
I'm
sounds
saying
fun.
it sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so much
Oh
fun.
my
Okay,
God.
trip number 2. We're going to Fright Fest, then we're going to Rage Room.
Yeah. So apparently there's just a room. You have to obviously buy it. You have to buy the ticket to get in, and it's probably not cheap. I don't know how much it is. I'd be surprised if it's more than like $60 because fuck that. But I mean, it's probably expensive because they literally put like old computers and like things that are satisfying, like lots of glass plates, like everything, like a bureau made of glass, and you literally just go in with a bat or a hammer or like whatever weapon they give you, and you suit up in gear, like you wear like the goggles and like the whole thing. And you literally just go in and just destroy everything in the room for like I don't know if it's time based, like if you get a certain amount of time in there.
That's what I was wondering. I was just thinking,
Yeah.
like, I wonder how that works. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a certain amount of property you destroy, and then they're like, all right, you're done. Or if it is like a time
If
limit.
it's
or,
it's got to be timed because that'd be cool.
Let's
If
look
you
it
get,
up,
like, a
'cause
half
I'm
hour.
curious
I would
to
love
see.
to do that.
$50?
It's 50.
Really?
That's
Oh,
not bad. That's not bad.
Your own shit to break.
Oh,
have to bring your own
Oh, you have to
stuff?
bring your own stuff. I could break my own stuff here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they clean it up for you.
Oh no, we need one with
There's a-
already has stuff in it.
Yeah, because there was a girl that I'm friends with on Instagram who posted something about it, like on her story or whatever, and she, like, I'd be surprised. Like, there's no way she brought all that stuff. It was like, there's so much hair in my eye right now. She, like, the room was like filled with a bunch of shit that there's no way she brought all that. I'm dying right now.
Do you wanna take a short break?
No, I'm
There's
right.
like 13 in New York and various areas.
Yeah.
Probably one of those. Average price seems to be
Got
like
it.
$50. You get like 20 breakables or a set time period. So either you break
Oh.
stuff or you have a set time. At least for this one.
Sounds awesome.
That's really
I
cool.
am so down.
Yeah, I want to do that so
We're gonna
bad.
do it.
Yeah, we have to. But that's a really good way to get out your rage.
Yeah.
Even just like throwing like eggs at something.
I remember I was really angry once, and this wasn't premeditated, but I was really angry, and I was in our kitchen. I don't remember why. I probably was just frustrated. You know, you just get frustrated with
Yeah.
like nothing. It's just like, oh, this isn't working. And I took an orange and I just threw it on the ground, and it makes this like satisfying squash, and it just kind of actually. This is another one. I've never told you this, and I feel really bad about this. This isn't a huge deal. We had a large serrated knife for cutting bread and stuff,
Oh god.
and I got really frustrated while I was doing it, and I just took it and I just smashed it against the counter, and it just broke in half. And then we didn't have a serrated knife for years after
Yeah.
that. I finally did
Long time.
replace it.
I mean, that's on us. We should have just gotten another serrated knife.
But I should have told you,
But
listen,
we're
I
like
broke the
that.
knife in a fit of rage. I'll replace it. But it was probably like no exaggeration, maybe 3 or 4 years since we got another serrated
That's
knife.
funny.
I feel like that's a large part of who we are, is that we were just willing to live with whatever bullshit is around us. Like, I don't care. I don't have a bread knife, and I'll just keep using a butter knife to try to fucking open something. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to talk
Whatever.
about, quickly, we don't have to talk about the circumstances surrounding it, but Sean got so angry once that and we should throw a picture up of this, if you don't mind.
Oh, was it the bed?
What?
The bed? I don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
the one where you got so angry at me that you punched your wall and
Oh,
did
yes.
permanent damage to the wall.
Yeah.
It's still damaged. So
Not that bad. You're
no,
making
no,
it sound like
no, it's not, but no,
but
you
it is it's a
you made a mark.
noticeable dent.
Anyway, maybe we can throw a picture of that up here. Or
Yeah, I
something
remember
like that.
we were getting ready to go to our dad's wedding, and we were just getting ready, and I was stuffed in this tiny suit, and I was getting so mad, and I was getting hot, like I did, and James and I were arguing about something. I don't remember.
I think
what
I don't remember what it was specifically, but I think I did that bad thing of when someone's angry, telling them like, "Relax, calm down."
Yeah.
Not a great route
No.
to go.
Terrible
No,
way to
it's
go.
not.
And
Yeah.
I remember him going into his room. Now,
It's like
once
the
again,
only thing you shouldn't say.
I know. But it's like what you want to say, right? You want to just relax, like, but it doesn't work that way. You can't just say relax to someone.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, that helped. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Awesome. We're good. But I remember Sean. I may be remembering this wrong. Your memories aren't as reliable as you think. You know what I mean?
No,
Very true.
So but I do remember him going into his room, slamming the door, screaming, and then I didn't see it, but I probably heard him punching the wall. And then he came out, no joke, like a minute later. Okay, all right, I'm good. He's like, I'm like, everything okay? And he go, yeah, I punched a hole in the wall. Okay, let's go to Dad's wedding, our father's wedding to our stepmother. But yeah, here's one thing I wanted to ask. We might have to move on. We got so much to say. I remember I worked at a cafe. I worked at Borders Cafe. I loved it, actually, for the most part. People were really nasty, but I remember once a guy, he wanted his drink extra hot, and I guess I didn't make it hot enough for him. So he touches it. He goes, "Can I get this extra hot, boss?" Call me boss. I hate it. Don't call me boss. Someone called me at work the other day 3 or 4 times, and I had to. He means no harm, but names like that you hate being called. For me, it's boss. It's like a trigger for me. I really don't like it. It's very condescending.
Boss and chief are
Chief,
the worst.
yeah. Do you get called chief a lot?
You know what? It's funny. This is called back to last week. When you go to a gas station, they'll call
I was
you
gonna
like boss or
say they
chief.
do that at gas
They
stations.
do that all the time,
Yeah.
No.
and it's like a
weird.
microaggression. You know you're doing an aggressive behavior by calling someone that. No one likes to be called that. Why are you doing it?
Yeah. I don't. What about you, Jess? Is it?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of one.
Another good one is actually at our place of work when people call you by your name
Yeah.
as if they
yeah,
know you.
me and were just
Like
talking about this the other day. That's why that's why I don't wear my name tag ever. Like, I try as hard as I can to not wear it.
I don't notice, and I feel like a lot of people don't care.
He's the only one that cares.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes even I don't have it, and like he wouldn't say anything. It's just
He always points. He just goes
Yeah.
like this. I'm like, fucking go get it, all right?
all right.
But I try not to wear it because, like, somebody asked me, because I didn't have my name tag on, I was wearing like a random one that obviously was not my name, so it's probably a guy's name. I do that all the time. And they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna assume that's not your name." And I was like, "Oh yeah, it's not my name." And they were like, I forget what they said, but they said like, "Oh, well, you know, like, how am I supposed to know your name? Like, how am I supposed to know who you are?" And I was like, knowing my name doesn't mean you know who I am.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he was like, "Huh, true." And that was it. He went, "Huh." I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, you don't fucking know. You don't know me.
You don't know me, no.
Just because you know my name doesn't mean you know me."
I think it's a
Go
cheat.
Yeah, it's
away.
a weird thing where they kind of feel like you're getting an in with me. Like, no.
Mm.
Oh,
I
thanks,
don't know
Jessica. Ew.
Get
Don't
out
talk
of
to
here.
me like that.
Yeah, it's.
away from
I find it off-putting too
I
because
hate it.
I know a lot of people from around here, and I don't. A lot of times, or people will recognize me because I used to work. My other job, I worked at for 8 years with the public, and people will say. So I don't know. It's like, am I supposed to know you? Like,
Yeah.
so that can be off-putting too. But yeah, I always thought it was weird with the because it's
I
like
don't like it.
I haven't introduced myself to you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I feel like you can always tell though when someone's it's a certain inflection in their tone, when they actually say your name, whether they know you or not. And I don't know the subtle nuance to say exactly what it is, but there is something you can tell, and I can tell, when you don't know my name, but you're using it because you see it.
I feel like it's their way of being like the person that called me the help the one time. It's their way of just being like, oh, so I went to a store and I called the employee by the name. Let them know I like them,
Yeah.
Let them know they're a real person. I did a good deed today. I called them, said, hey, Robert, thank you. Made his day. You know what I mean? It's like it makes you feel, they probably think it makes us feel like we're humans. Like I'm wearing my name tag, so obviously I'm a human. And then they use my name and I made them feel great. And it's like, no, I'd rather you not.
Yeah, it's kind of a shallow gesture.
I mean,
Yeah.
I already feel like a human when I shit, piss, and cry, so.
All
Yeah.
at once.
All at once.
On the floor.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
In my pants.
Oh, I
So-
also don't, sorry, I don't
No,
like to be
please.
called like sweetie, baby, honey. If you
Sweetie's,
call me honey, that's
Sweetie's
obvious.
gonna come up later.
Yeah?
So I thought, you never said this to me, but I just felt,
Yeah.
well, who would want to be called that? That's,
No, I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I also really, 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 really fucking hate when people call me Jessie.
Mm.
I hate Jessie. Hate. Which is funny because when my dad wanted to name me Jessie, or whatever, vice versa. One of them wanted to name me Jessie, and then the other one was like, no, let's name her Jessica, and then we'll just call her Jessie. Never call me Jessie in my life, thank God.
Mm.
And I hate it. Like, I hate
I'm
to be
always
called
confused
Jessie.
by that because they're two different names.
I don't like it. Like, don't make up a nickname for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'm not gonna... Like, I know you as James. I'm not just gonna start calling you Jimmy.
Please don't.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
yeah.
weird.
With you, your Jesse is my Jimmy. Or
Yeah.
Jim. That's
That's weird to me. Like,
That
don't
does-
just I
yeah.
don't know a guy named Mike, and I've known him as Mike, or he introduces himself as Mike, and then I'm just gonna call him Mikey.
yeah.
like,
no, don't.
That's weird. Like, you don't know me. Don't make up a nickname for me. Call me by my fucking name, Jess or Jessica. It's fine. And I hate it. Like, makes my skin crawl. There's no reason behind why I hate that name so much, but I don't know. I just don't like it.
When someone
Grinds my
says
gears.
Jim to me, that doesn't sound like my name.
'Cause
So
it's-
I don't
yeah.
get like upset like you. To me, if you call me Jim, well, you just don't know me very well then, because
Yeah.
it's like I am not, nor have I ever been Jim. Never.
Yeah.
That is absolutely not my name. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Sean, I don't know if there's a lot of ways you can play around with Sean.
Yeah, no, not really.
No.
I do, and you know what? If you've known me a while and if we're good friends, it's okay. But I don't like Shawnee. A lot of people call me
I call
Shawnee,
you Shawnee sometimes.
which is fine because you're my bro.
I've definitely heard you say Shawnee.
You're my bro. It's
Yeah,
all good.
he's
Yeah,
my
but
brother.
it's funny 'cause
I
my
have
si-
the right.
My sister's called me Jessie, and she's the only person that it's acceptable from.
It doesn't
I've
fill you
had-
with rage when
No,
she calls you Jesse?
Not at all.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's
there's
just her.
your relationships with your siblings
Siblings,
are
yeah.
very unique. You know, it's like
Ooh, that
you.
was a bug.
There's only so many. How many did you all have? Just one sibling? Or?
Yeah, just an older sister.
Yes. So it's like you have that. I have that relationship with two people in the entire world, ever.
Yeah.
So my brother and my sister. That's the only. So it's just a very special relationship, and then it's very nice when you. It's. I hate that. No, I don't hate, but it's like some people don't get along with their siblings, and that's like horrible to me. Like that's really
Yeah,
upsetting to
that
me. You
blows
know?
my
Right?
mind.
Yeah, but I mean,
sad.
everyone's circumstances
is.
are different. I'm sure there's the reasons, but it's like to me, not being on good terms or not getting. I mean, we fought like everyone, but it's
Oh
like
yeah, of course.
it's unfathomable to me that I
Yeah.
would, that I wouldn't get along with my siblings.
Yeah,
So-
when I got into high school, I was super excited because my sister was already in high school, and I was like, oh my god, we're gonna be in the same school. We passed each other in the hallway and be like, oh my god, hi, like, hello. I think we had like one gym, we had something together, like lunch, gym, whatever, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And then there was this kid in my grade, and he had an older sister who was in my sister's grade, and they were in the same gym class together. And I remember once they never spoke to each other, they never said anything. It was a boy and a girl, so I guess maybe there's that relationship, or it's not, when you're teenagers, nobody's best friends with their older sister, I guess. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. But, so they like bumped into each other once and they went, oh, I'm sorry. And then they just walked away, like they didn't know each other.
Oh.
And it was the strangest thing. And I was like, that was fucking weird. I would do anything to have my sister in my gym class. Like, they were like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, didn't even look at each other. And I was like, that is the most bizarre thing. It was
Yeah.
so weird.
That is
like, I
weird.
would murder both of you to get my sister in this gym class with me. Loved it.
Both of them?
Yeah, why not?
It's illegal.
Yeah, 2 for 1.
It's
You get the 2 for 1
It
special.
cancels it out, yeah. So
Yeah.
1 no go, 2 you're fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good to know. So I want to transition here into RBF, what does that stand for?
Resting bitch face.
Resting
Okay,
bitch
you both have
face.
been told that you have it.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah.
what I'm to understand?
Many
Well, that's-
times, yeah.
The funny thing that kind of initiated this was a coworker of ours had said to me he thought I was angry at him
Mhm.
for some reason. He had made some joke or done something, and the next day he was like, "I thought you were mad at me. I don't know. You just walking around."
I really want to know who you're talking about.
I'll tell you later. I don't want to say it on the show, obviously.
You can tell me now. We already have to bleep a name she said earlier.
Oh, okay, then it's Lou.
Oh, I said a name?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I said what's his face.
Yeah.
So-
My bad.
No, it's okay. It's actually
Nice.
we haven't bleeped in a while,
Oh,
so this
Cool.
will be good.
Oh, I.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he thought.
He thought I was mad at him, and I was like, "No, man, I'm just doing me. I'm just doing my thing." So, which kind of led me to, I think some people, and I've had this before, where some people think I'm angry or I'm mad, but no, really, I'm just existing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just trying
What's
to
your
figure out where I
experience
am
with
in the space-time
RBF,
continuum.
Jess?
Oh God, so many things. Well, one of them was actually when I first started working at the store. And granted, I didn't know anybody, and we discussed that earlier. It takes a lot for you to get to know me. Like, I don't open up that easily. But once I do, like, I'm this all the time if you know me. But if you don't know me, I'm really, really quiet. I can be really introverted.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare, but it happens. So I just got into the store, and I don't know, they didn't put me where I wanted to be, you know, like I was doing things, whatever. And I guess I was frustrated sometimes, and I wasn't necessarily as open as I wanted to be. But then it got to a point where I was like, okay, this is a great store. I really, really like everybody. Everybody's great. But I still didn't know anybody that well, so I'm keeping to myself, just being quiet, doing my job, just trying to work. And I thought that I was doing fine. I thought that everything was fine. So one of the managers pulls me outside and talks to me, and he's like, listen, everybody here thinks that you're absolutely miserable and that you hate it here. Like, you never smile and blah, blah. And that, for me, is a trigger. Don't fucking tell me to smile.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just don't. And so I immediately shut down when he's talking to me, and the second he said, you know, you never smile, blah, 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 shut down. And I was just so upset, and I almost like started crying, because I was like, I even told him, I was like, I'm having a great time here. I'm fine. And I was like, if I feel like I have to smile, like I want to, I'll smile. It's a natural emotion. But I was like, if I'm just doing my job, I'm not going to be putting up fucking boxes and walking around the floor with a smile on my face all the time. That's not how this works. And I was like, if that's what you want from me, then I was like, I'll go. Like, I'm not trying to work here if that's what you need from me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen anytime soon. I was like, I just got here. It's barely been a month.
Mm.
Like, I don't know anybody yet. I was really upset because I thought I was fine. And that, I think, was just contributing to just me not knowing anybody, keeping to myself, just existing.
Yeah.
And everybody thought I was this huge bitch because I wasn't smiling all the time, and I just had this expression on my face that was probably mutual. And granted, yeah, I did blow up, and I probably was a bitch. But, like, not all the time, you know? Like, it was just, I don't know. It was very, very frustrating.
Mm.
And I got it a lot when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
People just immediately, so many people I talked to were just like, oh my God, I thought you were this huge bitch when I first started.
Imagine
when
it's
I
very
first met you.
frustrating just to be branded with that.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I've owned it
You're
now
branded
at this
with
point.
anything, you know.
Yeah. The word bitch for me I've just been getting it all my life. And it's fine. I mean, I am a bitch. At least I own it now. But like,
Are you gonna sing the Meredith Brooks song?
oh, I love that song. I am a bitch. But back
That's
in
my
the
head.
yeah, right. I was singing it.
You're welcome.
But in high school, I was very like I was the little emo scenester little shithead girl that didn't have any friends, and I would just like do my own thing. And I never talked to anybody. I sat in the back. People, literally, teachers forgot I was in their classroom. That's how quiet I was. Like, I never said a word. And then people thought I was a bitch because I just never said anything. And I'm like, none of you are my friends. Why would I talk to any of you? And then I eventually opened up because I started like smoking weed and drinking my senior year. And so people knew who I was, and they were like, oh my God, when I first met you, like in this class, I thought you were such a bitch. I'm like, we never spoke.
Yeah.
Why would you think I was a bitch? Like, we literally never had a conversation.
Yeah.
So it's literally just me sitting there being like a human, and then people think I'm this huge bitch.
That's one of the
I'm like,
most frustrating things to me. When someone assigns like your feelings.
Yeah.
You know, like
Mhm.
you don't know how I'm thinking or how I'm feeling, but you just are
Yeah.
going to assign something to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They define you in the simplest of terms, just like
Mhm.
the Breakfast Club.
But I digress. All of this is we were gonna do a resting bitch.
Yeah, I
face
feel like
song.
I should Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, I alluded to, Jessica has the most creative use of profanity. It's beautiful, actually, what you do with cuss words. It's really fantastic. So I came up with
I'm going to give my dad credit.
You were taught well.
Yes.
I came up with a few scenarios here. I honestly, like, these are not great, but I tried. And then I want Sean, too, my brother, very good cursor. You said Sean gives you a run for your money. I don't think so.
I don't know about that.
He can curse for sure, but
Well, you have the power behind it. I have the creativity behind it.
So if
You
we
know
got
what I'm
together
saying?
in
So
our
we-
cursing endeavors,
Yeah,
we could
hell would
really
freeze
take
over.
the world
Non-existent
over.
hell would freeze over.
you guys should like run for president on a ticket.
Together, though.
Neither of you are old enough. I'm not old enough either.
How old do you have to be to run for president?
35.
35.
Really?
Yeah, 35.
You know, I did not know that.
Yeah, true story. True story.
Why are they all like 80?
What, 80? I read a book when I was a kid called The Kid Who Ran for President.
A lot of old dudes.
All they had to do was change the Constitution real quick. 12-year-old president, boom. I
Sick.
think it can be changed. Arnold wanted it changed when he wanted to run for president because he was born in Austria.
I was gonna say, but he can't because
Yeah,
he's
so,
not a citizen.
you'd have to. Well, because
He's a citizen.
he just wasn't. You have
Oh,
to be
yeah, I mean,
born.
he is a citizen. He
Yeah,
wasn't
you have to be
born in the
born in
country. Yeah, yeah.
America, but he wanted to. Honestly, though, if they changed that and Arnold Schwarzenegger ran for president, he might win.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, exactly, right. Yes.
Anything is, at this point, anything is possible.
Yeah,
governor.
like Donnie
president.
Wahlberg could be president, or Carrot
Imagine
Top.
Donnie Wahlberg being president.
That would be. I mean, he's in the New Kids on the Block, so
Yeah.
they would play the
Dude,
inauguration and
Dumbledore.
everything. They would do like.
Oh my God, he just rips off his suit and starts.
I'd vote for Donnie Wahlberg. Not Mark, but Donnie. Okay, anyway, so I came up with a few scenarios here that might make you curse. I'm sorry I didn't do better on this, but here we go. First one, very basic. Someone cuts in front of you at the grocery store.
My immediate thought is, you fucking bitch.
Cool.
You fucking shit buckle.
Shit buckle.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get like realistic. I just be like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking
Am I
bitch.
gonna have to Photoshop up some little images for these things?
You don't necessarily have to.
Joe, I don't want to see a shit buckle. Okay. So you got a green light in traffic. Someone runs the red light on the other side. You stop just in time, but they come within an inch of hitting you.
Cock eating fuckhole.
My God.
You flaming cunt rocket.
That was a good one.
Okay. This one's more of a personal one. Like, this one's not dealing with a stranger, but you have a friend, right? You make your friend dinner. They call it bland and flavorless.
I immediately got mad.
Yeah, that's screwed up, right? That's terrible.
Yeah.
You make your friend dinner, and this is what they say?
Yeah. What would I call them? See, I would just tell them off. I wouldn't even call them like a curse word. I'd just be like, who the fuck are you? But I'm trying to think of something creative now. You go first.
For the sport. You fucking cock knuckle.
Cock knuckle.
An interesting image.
That's actually one I use a lot. I do use cock knuckle.
Knuckle. It's like a strong sounding
Yeah,
word.
cock knuckle.
Knuckle. You know? Also punch, knuckle.
I was gonna say it implies
Yeah,
punch. Cunt munching. Cunt munching fuck. That's it.
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's a lot of power in that one. All right. This is the one about the concert and the guy jumping in the... We don't need to do that. Another one at a concert, though. This is one that really gets me. Person directly in front of you has their phone in your face the entire time and is screaming along to every word.
Eat shit and die, you whore.
That felt very natural.
Yeah, that came out really easy.
Simple but effective.
You goddamn infinite cock ring.
Infinite. It is infinite, though, right?
Yeah.
Phones are really frustrating, I find, in general. But at concerts, they really frustrate me. Like, I was just at the Death Cab for Cutie concert, and this woman was filming all these she was like putting her phone right in front of my face, and
Yeah.
that's not why I paid
Slap it out of her hand.
$70 to have your phone in front of my face. And it has been a fantasy of mine for a while to take the phone and
boop,
just throw it.
I want to just.
But I want it to get away from them. I want
true,
them
true.
to be. Actually, we just saw a video. Are you familiar with Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine?
Yes.
I love Rage Against the Machine. Speaking of Rage, he was doing a show. I think it was at a festival or whatever, and he invited people up on the stage for the last song. And he said one thing: "Don't take your phone out. Don't try to take a selfie with me. I'm gonna throw your phone." So a guy came up to him, tried to take a selfie with him, threw his phone immediately, and I was just like, it fulfilled a fantasy for me. I mean, I wasn't there and I didn't do it, but it was just like, it was very satisfying.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like,
When I saw Ariana Grande a couple weekends ago with my sister in Brooklyn, and obviously there's a bunch of younger kids there, younger girls. So, and I was wasted.
Mm-hmm.
But like right when she came on or whatever, everybody took out their phones and they're just like blah blah blah. So I screamed, "Put your fucking phones down!" Like as loud as I possibly could. And there was two people like off to the side in front of us, and they were probably around my sister, like our age. And they looked at us and they were like, "Woo!" She looked at me and started clapping. And if they were pretty good with it though, I will. Oh my god though, there were these three girls in like the aisle before she came on, that were just, I'm not joking, no exaggeration, 10 minutes taking pictures of themselves. Like the two girls would pose.
oh.
And then the girl would take a picture and they'd look at it and then they'd switch again. And then they would switch and then they'd do it again and then they look at it and literally back and forth. I'm not kidding, for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. I recorded it.
You fucking vapid shitbirds.
Yeah.
Nice,
for
that
real.
was a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I kind of blanked. I was like, fuck, I couldn't think of
that's
anything.
really troubling.
I think I just called them little twats. I was like, look at these little twats over here taking pictures
I mean,
of
that's
themselves.
pretty good.
It's really troubling.
Narcissistic twat holes.
It's troubling how accepted it is to be that narcissistic nowadays. It's
Yeah.
like that's just how it is with Snapchat and Instagram. Like, Snapchat is one that I really troubles me because it's like people constantly feeling the need. They have to get little films. They have to get pictures. It's like I have to because of the Snapchat. And
It's so
just,
funny because I literally took a picture of you guys when I was standing over there. I
No,
took a video on
this
Snapchat.
is a special occasion.
an
We're
occasion.
filming a TV
Yeah.
show.
Well, yeah, that's why I did it. But like, I
Yeah.
don't take pictures. Like,
No,
I don't
but-
feel the need to take pictures of what I eat all the time.
Yeah,
And like,
exactly.
I don't post where I'm going constantly.
Yeah.
Like,
My thing with that is the consistent, like, okay, somebody took pictures, and it's 43 pictures of the exact same fucking pose, the duck lips and the slight angles.
Well, I can say
There's no...
100% because we're Snap friends. One of my favorite parts of Snap with us is that we send each other poop selfies.
oh yeah, that's unacceptable. That is like the only acceptable selfie I
I think
want
it's
to
the
see.
best selfie to have.
I want to see you sitting on a toilet taking a shit.
It's an intimate screenshot. You know?
Yeah.
Very intimate.
I mean, you're
okay.
not like, you don't see anything below the belt. We don't do anything.
No,
like
no,
that.
no.
No, yeah,
it's-
it's not like
it's
weird.
very tasteful.
Yeah, it's not weird.
Yeah.
Let's say theoretically, in this hypothetical scenario, you work at a grocery store, and let's say the customer doesn't bag their $300 order
Ugh.
and makes comments about how you're doing it wrong the entire time.
Oh my god. See, I immediately go to. I'm trying to think.
Just go what feels natural.
Hold on. If you got something, you can go
I'm
first.
trying to think of one.
I thought, then do it yourself, you lazy cunt sucker.
Hang on, I gotta think about this. You shit-eating, slap and tickle donkey dick.
Donkey dick.
There's a lot going on in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have like the words on the bottom when they say these things so they can be spelled out verbatim? Nice ones. This is the last one. Still the grocery store scenario. While your head is turned, a customer shouts at your back, "Where's the milk, sweetie?"
Ooh, ugh. Ugh. I can't think of it.
That's one thing that really bothers me
It's
is
up
when
your
they
shithole, you fucking cockstain.
Cockstain. I like cockstain a lot.
Cockstain's good.
I'm gonna use that.
pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
And then it's up your shithole.
Someone walked into the store once and immediately asked me where the milk was. I was standing right up front, and
You
it's
didn't
just
even
like,
look.
did you maybe think to check like the cold section where the refrigerator is? Like, I don't. Have you
I love
ever
when-
been in a
It's
store?
with the canned beans.
Yeah, it's a weird merchant.
I love when people
situation.
come up. Someone came up to me and was like, "Where's your frozen fish?" And I was like, "In the freezer."
I always say, oh, it's in the frozen section. Always. Somebody asked where the ice cream was, and I was like, it's in the ice cream section with the freezer.
It's in the bathroom.
My favorite is when someone asks for something that is literally in pointing distance, and I just go
Well,
I do that. I'm like,
right there.
people always ask me where the bread is, and
you're not looking. If they are asking where something that, like the milk, like dairy or bread, you're not looking.
But I'm like, I would say 80% of the time I'm at work, I'm standing in the bread section. Where's the bread? And
I get it
just-
all the time,
it's like,
and yeah, constantly. Like, you don't even fucking try.
yeah.
Just walk the store for like a second.
All we're asking is you just apply yourself just a little bit. That's it.
Fucking
Ever
assholes.
so slightly. Did we get one from you on that last one?
I don't remember
think we
it.
did. I don't think we did.
It's all right. No pressure.
I don't know, man.
I would say crawl back up your mother's asshole, you cunt slapping bitch.
Whew.
A lot of C-word
That's good.
focus.
I like the
with-
word cunt a lot. Or cock munching fuck.
They're very
Cock-eating
strong,
slut.
short
Slut
words.
shaming.
Cunt is very like strong. It's
Yeah.
Like cunt.
It's less strong in
cunt.
England,
Yeah.
though. You know, in England, it's almost a term of endearment.
Yeah, I was gonna say they use it all the time over there.
Yeah, they love it.
Aw, cunt.
you call your little
Yeah.
baby boy that. Okay, so I guess that's about it. One last thing I wanted to do. We talked all about rage and stuff, but I think Jess is a real sweet person. I'm not calling you a sweetie, making that distinction right now.
Okay.
But I think Jess is a wonderful, warm, kind-hearted person. And one thing I want to do, if it's okay with you, you left a really, truly sweet comment that touched me on our Facebook, and I was wondering if I could read it right now, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
So I made a post about how we were doing a show, and then we were doing a talk show in our backyard. Maybe it's a little silly, but we're having a good time. I appreciate it. Check it out if you want. Because I do think it's maybe something that like 9-year-olds would do. But, you know, we're both in our 30s. But anyway, Jess said, it's not silly. You guys are wonderful. Keep making these videos. Everyone loves them. And that really touched me. I thought that was very, very sweet. Thank you very much. It meant a lot because people give you feedback, whether you want it or not. And it can be, you know, we're honestly, we're back here and we're doing our best.
Yeah.
And we're new to it. And
Oh, you're doing your best?
I'm doing my best. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm doing my best. I prepare for this. See, I got this notebook
He's
with
got a notebook. What do you
all
have?
this stuff with all previous episodes, you know.
This has come up in like 3 episodes.
But wait, there's
Really?
more. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
No, it's just a different. We have a.
Have a cigar.
Nice.
That's pretty good. No, but we work really hard on it. And it's very, people just watch and go, oh, I didn't. They're like, oh, you talked too long about the guy in the scooter. That's a specific one.
Yeah, you fuck knuckle.
So I understand. It's like it's okay to have your opinion about what we're doing here, and it's okay to not like it. That's fine.
Yeah,
But,
just keep it to yourself.
Exactly.
It's your own fucking YouTube
Is
show,
that?
you bitch.
That's what I think too. It's like we're
Thank you, Jess.
we're doing what we can. No one ever said we're perfect or professional. We're just back here doing what
Well,
we
yeah,
can.
you're just doing it for
So,
fun. You're talking to your friends,
yeah.
hanging out. Like,
So if you're just making these like sort of sniping little, I take it to heart. I'm sensitive, but it was, you know, we've gotten a lot of positive. Stop that.
that's scary.
We've gotten a lot of positive feedback too, but I think
Yeah.
honestly, that was probably the nicest, most reassuring thing anyone's ever said about the show,
Aw.
and I genuinely appreciate it very
yeah,
much.
of course.
And I thank you very much for being here. I think this was a great show, and you were a great guest, and I thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, of course.
It was fun.
Woo!
Okay, so this is a dance I do when I'm like really excited about something.
space?
No. So what you do, you put your legs like this, spread them out. Yeah, and you go like this, and you just go. And then 1, 2, 3, switch.
Am I supposed to be going the other direction?
No.
Oh, just hands. Just switch hands.
No, switch again. Yep, and that's the happy dance.
I like this.
Oh no, legs, James, legs. Switch your legs too.
I have to switch legs too? That's too much trouble. Wait, you have to switch.
I do not have
You have to
enough
switch
coordination.
arms.
Yeah,
And legs?
it's literally just
Yes,
this and
you
then
gotta
like
switch
that.
arms and legs.
Okay.
It's like lunges.
So like this.
Yep. And this.
I'm not doing it.
I keep confusing my hands. I don't know what I'm doing.
The gist though, we got the gist.
It is not hard.
Should we try again?
That's it.
Your hand's not right. The back hand's gotta be. What's my back hand? It's gotta be like this, right?
I don't know. I just leave my hand to the side.
What was
focusing on
What was I doing with it?
You had it up.
Oh,
I
it
think
has to be down. Does
I
that
just
make
had
it?
my
Does
hand
that make a
to the
difference?
side. No.
It helps with the
I was looking at
aerodynamics.
what you were doing.
Oh, was I doing that? I don't even know.